Did you know that this is considered a hate symbol? Hi, I'm Abiola Goro, and this is DSR in a minute or less. Now, this shirt was left on my mother's truck after being in an area called Aledo, Texas in 2016. This was just 4 years prior to one of the biggest protests in the area of all time that got national coverage. And while this, from the company, independent truck, is technically referred to as being their logo, this symbol in particular is one of the oldest symbols of not only the Nazis, but the modern day white supremacist movement in the United States. And in the area at the time, they were leaving things across black people's cars in order to signify that the white supremacist group was there. Now, something that we don't talk about enough in being able to recognize hate symbols, which is really important, especially as we come upon the United States election this year and coming up in 2025, the second part of the UK elections, are symbols that are less identifiable or symbols that are said to be not hate symbols because of the ways that they've been explained away. Pepe the Frog, for example, one of the famous memes prior, especially in the mid-2000s and late so, now is known for signaling right-wing affiliations, as well as the Bucky symbol has been heavily used by white supremacist groups in the last couple of years. Now, this symbol is called the Iron Cross specifically, and like I said, while the independent trucker company has claimed for years that it had nothing to do with that, this was founded in 1978 in California for the skateboarding organization. And at the same time period in the 1960s, different motorcycle gangs and skateboarding groups had already adopted the Iron Cross in order to be viewed as a white supremacist symbol. And this came in 1978, especially at the peak continuance of those kinds of organizations. And even then, sometimes when we are told a symbol isn't necessarily affiliated, the history of the symbol itself says a lot more than we realize. This usually was used for the German military, and while people typically refer to the fact that it wasn't used to symbol genocide until Hitler came into the Third Reich in the 1930s, this symbol was created in 1871, and very shortly later, 30 years later, was one of the worst genocides in history that often goes untalked about. That was the precursor for the Holocaust. This was against the Herero and the Nama genocide that happened in Namibia, which killed at least 65,000 people, and this symbol was awarded at that time period in 1904 to signify the good behaviors of the soldiers. So as things come up, it's important to make sure you get more aware of hate symbols. We'll talk a little bit more about this in a part 2. Thank you so much. I'm Abiola Goro. Bye.